The more you say it, the more you're going to be it. You know, if you say I am a free man, I have rights, I have inalienable rights, I am a free man, I exist on this plane of existence to experience it in a peaceful and loving way, then that's what will happen, regardless of how the system's constructed around you. So basically she said I've got 28 days to pay up, or she'll issue a distress order, which basically means they can clamp my car, my current car, but I didn't give them the number plate to it, so how they would know it was my car. They'd have to do some digging about, but I've no doubt they would. Or they could chuck me in prison, like I said, which I doubt they'll do. She said that the court would be very reluctant to do that. So, so she was saying that. I can pretty much assure that that's the case. Yeah, and she said that she didn't even say court dismissed or anything like that. She just sort of started scribbling and writing, and I just got up and left. I sort of felt a few eyes looking at me, as if, I think maybe, as I was walking out, I got the distinct impression that I should have waited for her to say, okay, you may leave. Although she gave no indication as to that's what she was going to do, she just kept on writing, sort of carried on as if, you know, I wasn't there anymore. So, and I think maybe the fact I felt eyes on me was maybe there were other people there waiting for her to say, right, you can leave. So there was one or two scenarios, well, one of three scenarios really. Either I was supposed to sit and wait for her to say I could leave, and I walked out and everybody's looking at me thinking, fucking hell, what you shouldn't have done that. And the judge has just chosen to ignore it. Or I wasn't supposed to sit there and wait to leave, and I was alright, I just went off, and people were just looking at me out of sheer bewilderment of, you know, what they'd just seen, because not many people go through those courts, I'm sure, saying and doing the things I was doing and saying. Or there's a third option, which is, it was expected of me to sit and wait till the judge dismissed me, but the judge herself knew that that wasn't going to be any use in doing that. You know what I mean? And maybe the judge thought, well, he regardless of what I say, he's going to get up and leave anyway. You know what I mean? She sort of begrudgingly respected the position I was taking, and sort of gave me that little bit of encouragement. Oh, not encouragement, but leeway, I don't know. Tolerance. That level of tolerance for what it was I was doing. So I suppose it was a begrudging, respectful tolerance that I received. I like to think that's the case. It might not be, but it's the most poetic of the three, so why not? I can claim it. Yeah, so that's about it really. There might be the odd little detail here and there, but if you want to get in contact with me, my sign-on name is Fettle Fane. I'm on Freedom Rebel Network. I'm on Lawful Rebellion, I believe, under Fettle Fane. You can contact me through this YouTube channel, through Rob. It won't be hard to get hold of me if you really want to. If you want to ask me questions or want to give me advice, I'm always happy to take advice and criticism.
So what's the next stage of this then?
Next stage of this? Oh right, yeah, I suppose I should address that. Well, I'm going to write a letter to the Ministry of Justice. Don't even know where to begin how to draft this letter to the Ministry of Justice. I might send a complaint to the court. My main complaint would be the fact that it wasn't made clear to me that I was going to court there not for the original fine, and the fact that the original fine had nothing to do with it so far as they were concerned, as far as I could see, and that wasn't really made clear to me, and that many things weren't made clear to me, and still my points weren't addressed. That's another key point. That's, I suppose, what will be the crux of my letter to the to the Ministry of Justice. I suppose that's what I should build it around, the core of that my points were not addressed. And that liability was assumed of me. It wasn't asked of me, it was assumed of me. Maybe something about like that. So yeah, I'm going to send those couple of letters. I've basically got 28 days. You know what I mean? 28 days to worry about it.
And the witnesses are going to sign a letter of complaint each as well. They weren't allowed into the public courtroom. Oh yeah, the fact that the people who came with me weren't allowed to go in. I did ask her about that actually, at the judge. I did actually say, is this a public court or a private court? And she said, well, it's a public court. I said, well, why weren't members of the public allowed in? She says, well, we're not going to go into that because, and she said, after what happened last time. She referred to what happened last time in the first court. So, although it was a public court, members of the public were not allowed in.
out of fear for violence, because we weren't violent last time. They were violent towards us. We weren't aggressive, they were aggressive. So did she not let them in out of fear of aggression, not so much from our side, but from the police and from the officials there? Is that how she justified it in her own mind? Basically saying that if I let them in, what could happen is there could be aggression generated, albeit from the people on my team. I have to stop that aggression in any way possible. So the easiest way, rather than to put my team in to check, just stop the other team from entering onto the pitch, so to speak. And so, in a way, maybe she thought she was doing a good thing, or maybe she just couldn't be bothered with what happened last time. Maybe she wanted to get down to the crux of the matter. I don't know. So yeah, basically what's going to happen is I'm going to send a letter of complaint with questions as to things that happened on the day and points that have still not been addressed, and pretty much send the same thing. I'll probably end up sending the same thing to both the complaints board and to the Ministry of Justice. And that probably actually might be the best way to go about it. And I will I'll try and post those online. Well, I'll write it on the computer, so I will post them online. Yeah. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you for sparing your time to watch. And as I said before, all criticisms, all comments, any advice are always welcome. I'm an open book, and I've still got many pages left to fill. Thank you very much.